Hello everyone, welcome to Riley Plays. As you can see, we're going to be discussing more mods today. Now, this is more generalized. In my last video, I discussed my favorite hairstylist creators. Today, we're going to be looking at some modders I heard about through other YouTube videos. One thing I noticed when watching videos is the creators tended to focus on the mods. They would still give credit to the creators, and they would still read about their mods and even make a point of telling you if more than one mod in their list was from the same creator. But I really just wanted to go to each person's page. The majority of these are gameplay mods, but I have other categories as well. It's a bit of a mixed bag today, so we're just going to get started. Some of these people have Patreon pages as well, or websites or Tumblrs, and we're just going to go through them all. So the first modder I wanted to talk about is Sacrificial. You've probably heard of him. His mods can be a bit dark, but they also add a lot of realism to the game. Some of the more tame ones include the Road to Fame, and the Passionate Romance mod, and then there's the Romantic Slow Dance. And then there's some crazier ones. You have Zombie Apocalypse, the Extreme Violence mod, and something called Possessed Child. I haven't played that one, but you can see by the pictures some of these are kind of gruesome. So if you're a little kid, these won't be for you, but they're great for storytelling purposes. And he has a Patreon page as well. And you can go through, and you can look for updates. You can see all of the mods here. Life's Drama is another one that's really good for, more gameplay realism. But again, not all of these are child friendly. We got guns and swords and guts. So if you're squeamish, not all of these will be for you. The next creator I want to talk about is Melon. He's also been getting a lot of press lately. And I'm just going to look through here. Melon does a lot of stuff, but in particular, there's a lot of these sort of gameplay ones. We got Horror Life. The last time I came here, this was locked, so I haven't played this one yet. But, it's not all of these are kid-friendly either, but they're definitely ideal for realist-type players. And you can see that there's a lot here. And there's regular updates as well, so that's good. Yeah, you can see this is not kid-friendly. I haven't downloaded this one either because, some of these, I'm not going to read them because some of them are kind of like, oh, okay. Maybe good to pair with Wicked Whims, but there's more tame ones where you talk about your kids, and it doesn't want to load right now. Okay, see, Farm Life. There's more innocent ones here, Gamer Life. You can, talk about, you can play Overwatch. There's another one that adds more socials where you can talk about MMOs. And there's some clothes here as well. But the main emphasis really is on the new socials here. Oh yeah, and there's a lot. You can discuss religion, talk about horror movies. Yeah, he didn't write them all out because there's 20 interactions. The next creator is Kawaii Stacy. Again, very gameplay oriented. She has done a couple of other things. You can see that she's got furniture, makeup, but she really shines in this area when it comes to her custom aspirations, her events, her careers. This is the definitive one you want to get, the Slice of Life mod, but there are plenty of other mods to enjoy as well. The big one that came out recently was the Memorable Events mod. If you go on YouTube, you'll see a lot of YouTubers talking about this one and playing it in their game. Next one I discovered on my own is Midnight Tech. Now, what's neat about this modder is that they do careers. There's all kinds of different careers. You have psychic career, you have comic artist, graphic novelist career, and dentist career. So you can have something that's sort of mystical, magical, or you can have like very down to earth. You see there's banking career, cat lover career. I don't know what that one's about, but there's a lot. So if you were wanting to add some new careers to your game, then there's some good options here. I believe there was a modeling career, which is how I stumbled on this because I needed to update for another mod that wasn't working anymore, and a witchcraft career. And the next one is Ro Berkey's Meaningful Stories. Ro Berkey hasn't done a lot of mods yet, but the mod that Ro Berkey has done is quite extensive. It overhauls the emotional state. So, you know how when your sim is happy, things like inspired and playful will just play into that? Well, now uncomfortable acts in the same way. So if your sim is having a negative emotion like sadness or embarrassment or anger, uncomfortable will support that. Like, it'll boost it. And Ro Berkey also overworks the happiness as well. It's quite extensive. You can go through this on your own, but you can also see there's a Patreon page here. So I think, there'll probably be more mods coming. And as you can see, there'll also be updates. So if you're worried that they're going to end up with another mod that's going to break, you don't have to worry because there will be updates. Next modder is Zero. Now, Zero, does some other things as well, apparently. Apparently, Zero does some comics as well. But I'm just going to go through these here. Some of these are more fantasy-oriented, from what I can tell. There's different mods that affect the magic system and make things more challenging. Vampire magic, hermit witch. Yeah, there's, you can tell Zero's into Realm of Magic, or maybe not into it if Zero feels like they need to fix everything. But there's, some fixes too, like for fixing some things, like really basic things. Zero basically sounds really annoyed about a lot of things, so it's kind of fixing all the pet peeves Zero has with the game. And this one sounds interesting. Deadly duels. Okay, I'm an asshole. This is great though. Like, you could like reenact the Battle of Hogwarts with this. You could have a lot of fun. It's definitely for storytelling purposes. I'm not going to scroll through much more, but there's a lot. Load more. Next one is Little Miss Sam's, and these are more realism based, family, friends, social. We have one mod here. She does a lot of sort of gameplay mods like live-in daycare. Just got to find her list here. It seems to just be showing me this one, but yeah, she has a lot that tie into everyday sort of life. See, working pet water bowls for your pets. Choose your helmet, choose your roommate, and you can see how many pages there are. Like, skate everywhere. A lot of these are quite small, but she'll do bigger ones as well. Online learning system, random holiday traditions, foster family. So there's a lot of these sort of family oriented ones. There's just sort of little things, sort of quality of life things to add to your game. And she has a Patreon as well. 414 posts, so you can find all of her mods here as well. And there'll be updates, so you don't have to worry about your mods breaking. See, oh yeah, link is fixed, so, you know, she's on top of things. Here, this next one's getting a little more press. Lumpinu, I'm assuming, I hope I'm saying that right, but yeah, oh, he's got a lot of followers. A lot of people are anticipating the wellness and pregnancy overhaul mod. I've seen a lot of YouTubers discussing this one. It's highly anticipated at this point. Or, you know, at least I'm really anticipating it. I'm going to download it as soon as I'm able. I know I'll have to wait a while, but that's sort of the biggest one. There's also the no strings attached mod. These are a lot of sort of ones that are for realism play. Rambunctious religions. I don't know what that one's about, but okay, yeah, you can be like full on religious. I don't know if you can go knock on people's doors, but Road to Romance. Oh yes, this gives you a romance skill. I have this one in my game. It's pretty fun. Yeah, well, there's a lot. So you can see there's a lot here with this creator. Next one is Ilkaville. Ilkaville's kind of fun. She used to have a website, or she still has a website here, Sims Quest. And again, this will be a little more for people that like occults. You know, there's more general ones too, more realism based. Express how proud or disappointed you are. But there's also these supernatural ones. Master Duelist career, Healer, Magic career. And this one sounds really fun. I've downloaded this. I haven't played it yet, but it's definitely one I want to check out. The Vampire Slayer mod. There's some intense stuff here. And then you got Everyday. Ask parent about dating. But, you know, there's some really cool stuff here. Especially if you want to do more supernatural style storytelling, then Ilkaville is the place to go. You know, you can see occults, 6 posts here. Magic career updates. It's really good too. If a creator has a Patreon page, then there's a better chance that if a mod breaks, they'll be on top of it. Used to be sometimes a creator would come out with this great mod, and then you would go to their page a couple years later and find the mod was just completely broken. Or you'd have it in your game and it would just stop working. And either they'd fix it or they'd just disappear into the void. So other people would have to step in and fix it. But if they have a Patreon, then that's like quality control. You know that if there's a problem, somebody will bring it forward and then they can release an update in another patch. So it's good when somebody has a Patreon, because then you know they're sort of on top of everything. They're communicating with people, responding to comments. You know, they're on top of things. Everything is, ooh, this sounds fun. School trips, events. You just know everything's going to be updated. There's going to be communication. It's just a good safety net. But yeah, here's another more realistic one. So you can take your Sims to a field trip if you're a teacher. Next one, Sims Model Simmer. I haven't played with this one a lot, but it sort of looks like there's a lot of quality of life fixes. This is one to address all the ugly townies, and I have a feeling this one will be even more needed when the Star Wars pack comes out, to address all the people with alien skins and weird medieval space clothes. The townies don't know how to dress themselves, so the more game packs you get, the uglier they get, it seems like. And the Star Wars one's probably going to be particularly bad. So this is probably going to be a necessary mod when that comes out. This is the one I first heard about, the Realistic Reactions mod. And it's really great, especially if you pair it with the Meaningful Stories mod. because meaningful stories overhauls the emotions. And then when you have these in there, some of these last a long time too. Like they last several days. Like, you know how there'd be sort of dissatisfaction if somebody died because it only lasts 2 days? Well, these are intense. Like if somebody cheats, they're like angry about it for 5 days. Like your Sims will be depressed for a week or angry for a week. Like it'll really affect their mood. So it really makes it feel deeper. I haven't seen a lot of the other mods, but this is sort of the big one. It's almost a must-have. It's in my game, and I really appreciate it. So looks like there's some furniture, clothes. Protest, like there's a lot. There's familiar interactions, so it looks like there's some supernatural stuff. You know, if you want to support things too, support causes, you know, there's everything here. Like this modder, you know, seems tuned in to the community. You know, there's, with everything that's going on, it's been affecting the community too. So it is nice to see somebody that's tuned into things, what's going on. That's, you know, it's trying to be relevant to what's happening in the real world, because this is a life simulation. It reflects the real world. But at the same time, the creator's willing to have fun and address things like familiars for us occult oddballs out there. Now, the last two I want to talk about that's, you know, it's also relevant to the real world. Everybody's heard of this, especially with Mira being in the Sparked Challenge, the Mira's Melanin Pack. Now, my only thing with this mod is most of the undertones are warm. And the second thing is that if you go to make an occult sim, the skins don't show up. So if you go to make a spellcaster or a mermaid, vampire, the skins won't show up. And that's more, I guess, the programming with EA. However, they program the skins to appear on occults. When it comes to custom skins, they don't come through for some reason. But if you download this in addition to Mira's skins, then you're covered, because these skin tones also add more olive undertones, more gold undertones. So there's warm undertones too, but there's also the cooler undertones. And they also show up on occult. So if you go to make a witch or a mermaid, these skin tones will show up. So I think it's really cool. This is Velvet Scout does these. So in my game, I currently have the Bare Skin Tone pack from Velvet Scout and Mira's Melanin pack combined in my game. I have both of these. And it's been really great. Like, it's really opened up character creation. And it even makes the townies better. Seeing all these different skin tones, I really like it. I've already applied it to, you know, a number of my own Sims, and they look a lot better. And, you know, I believe that wraps everything up. I apologize if I address the creator by the wrong gender. It's not always apparent. You know, I make an assumption, so if I messed up there, I apologize. I just really wanted to showcase some of these. You've probably already heard about a lot of them from other tubers, or YouTubers, SimTubers, whatever you want to call them. You've probably heard about a lot of them, but I really wanted to showcase the modders themselves, what some of their other mods were, where you could find them. You know, sometimes I'm watching a video and somebody will mention a mod, but I'll miss the name, or I won't know how to spell it. So I think it's important to also be able to see their names, see how it's spelled, where you can find them, and what else they're doing. Thank you so much for listening. Happy simming.